Hello, gorgeous. My name is Paige Sevier. I am an influencer, artist 7 now, and I am so excited to talk to you about how to resolve concerns and close the deal when it comes to bringing people into your team in the artist program. So there are 5 steps that we're going to go through together today. So take out a piece of paper and a pencil, write down some notes, and here we go. Also, I've got my notes on my laptop here, so if you see me looking down a lot, I'm just referencing my notes to make sure I don't miss anything. But we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into this. So the number one thing that we need to talk about before we even dive into resolving concerns is the importance of having an abundance mindset. Okay, and the reason why I bring this up is because so often when we're talking to people or we're building a team, we bring this anxious or nervous or kind of stressy energy that we need this person on our team to hit a rank or to just validate our efforts as an artist. And people can feel that energy. And so if you are telling yourself there is an abundance of people out there, that the right people will come to me, that I am going to be led to those people, I promise you it's going to change the recruiting game for you. Because guess what? Even if you have a customer, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've earned them as an artist. And people, it's really important that we recognize that we're not going to be for everyone and everyone is not going to be for us. And so our job in bringing people into this business is to really just help them figure out if this is going to be a good fit for them, right? It's not about us. That's the other big thing you need to remember. Bringing people into this opportunity is not about you and your goals. So you need to let go of that story that you're telling yourself and the story that you have to close every single person that you talk to. There will always be enough people. There will always be the right people who are going to be ready to join with you. So that's what I mean by having an abundance mindset. And if you struggle with that, if you find yourself kind of in a fixed mindset where you're telling yourself you can't do that, or there's not enough people, or whatever it might be, I would just encourage you to do some self-development when it comes to the beliefs and the mindset that you have, and work on some daily mantras. Start telling yourself that I am a good leader. There are enough people out there. I can find the right people to work with me. Okay, so now that we've got abundance mindset out of the way, I want to talk about the second thing we should be doing to help resolve concerns. And this is actually coming prior to even the individual conversations that you're going to have with people when you're recruiting. So what I mean by that is I want you to think about what were some of the concerns that you had when you signed up to be an artist. Talk to some other ladies on your team or your sidelines and ask them, hey, what were some hesitations that you had? What things scared you, right? Write that down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start creating content on your social media platform that caters to those concerns. So now when you're talking about the artist program, you're not just talking about the artist program. You're speaking to a person who either has concerns about time management, money, lack of makeup experience, or just business experience in general. Maybe they're scared to go live. Maybe they have hesitations about how to successfully run a business on social media, about managing a business, being home with kids, right? There's so many concerns that people have before they join the artist program, and you can eliminate or help resolve a lot of those concerns before they even come to you or before you even start having a conversation by creating content that caters around this. So for example, what would a type of content be? You could do something like showing how you work the business at home with your kids, like a day in the life, a behind the scenes. So maybe you show how you wake up an hour before your kids and you do a miracle morning. Maybe you show a quick boomerang of how you take advantage of power hours. Maybe your team does power hours together. Maybe you show how once the kids are in bed, that's when you jump on some team trainings or some Zooms, or that's when you do some more follow-ups or color matches, etc. That's one way that you could help people see, hey, there's systems in place. There's ways that you can run a business and it doesn't have to consume your life. And then what I would recommend is when you're creating that content or those stories, save it as a highlight on your Instagram, or do a couple of different posts that when people come to you and they're like, hey, I have this concern. Now, guess what, you guys? Now you have a resource, you have a tool that you can pull from. And I would also encourage you to get some other girls on your team. They don't have to be, if you don't have anyone in your downline, ask some sister sidelines. Hey, would you be willing to make a quick story, or you can use the Unfold app to make a quick, beautiful graphic that shares how someone was able to overcome a concern that they had when they signed up to be an artist. If you're a leader, you can get some girls on your team to do this together. And now you've got another resource that you can pull from to help resolve some concerns on your social media platform before people even come to you with those concerns. So that's definitely something that I don't see a ton of artists doing, but I think it's really, really crucial when you're talking about the artist program, how you can help those people. So write down all those concerns and then figure out the kind of content, make it interesting, make it fun so people want to watch the kind of content that would resolve those concerns, and then save it as a resource for you to use in the future. Okay, number 3, the next thing we're going to talk about is when you are having the conversations with people who are interested in the artist program. Maybe it's a customer, maybe it's someone who's following you on social media, someone who found a live video you did on Facebook. Whoever that person is, you need to know who you're talking to. So number 1, for example, when someone reaches out to me and they're like, oh, I'm so interested in the artist program, can you tell me more about it? Before I even get into that, I say, actually, I would love for you to tell me more about you. I want to get to know you a little bit. Spend some time connecting with this potential artist and really getting to know them. And I love to ask the question of, what do you hope Saint can do for you? Like, what are you looking for with Saint? Is it support? Is it sisterhood? Is it financial gains? Is it just some fun, just a hobby, right? You need to know what it is that this prospect is wanting out of this opportunity so that you can properly help them when they bring some concerns to you based on this information that you've now gained. And what's also really cool is even if they don't sign up right now, the fact that you took some time to just show interest in them and get to know them, heck, even if they're your customer and you've had a few exchanges, just talk to them, just be a friend and just be normal. Stop trying to throw everything at them the second you get any interest, right? Because that also kind of brings that stressy, anxious vibe, and it also can just make the exchange feel cold. I also recommend that when you're having these conversations on social media, text can be easily misinterpreted. So I highly recommend sending a voice message, sending a video message, smile, have some joy in your voice and just show people that you are genuinely interested in them and what they have to share with you. And you are genuinely excited about the artist program. I promise you that will make a world of difference. So know who you're talking to, what matters to them, what do they want out of the opportunity. And then what you can do when you're having this conversation is naturally you're gonna be able to help them discover their why before they even get started. So when they do bring up a concern next in your conversation, you can say, hey, well, remember how you said you're really looking for support? Let's talk more about that and how this can be that resolve for you. Or maybe you're struggling with some just depression, being at home all day. Let's talk about how taking this next big leap can really help you work through that, right? So because you've taken the time to get to know them and what their needs are, now you can help resolve that concern even better because you know what they need. Okay, so number 4, now that you've connected, you've had a conversation, your job is not to sell your prospect. It is not your job to sell to them. Your job is to simply consult with them. And this is where that connection piece comes in. If you haven't connected with them, then there isn't enough level of trust to where you can consult with them. So what do I mean by consult? What I mean is you are simply here to help them find out if the Saint Artist program is really going to be what they're looking for. Guys, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that I really could just tell it's actually not a good fit for them. That isn't always the case. Most of the time it is. I really think that this is for 99% of people out there. But every once in a while, you're gonna find people where this just isn't either the right time or just not a great fit, and that's okay. And guess what? A lot of those times, those people appreciate that honesty and they value that, and they come back to you either as a customer or maybe an artist down the road. So again, stop trying to close the deal or bringing that energy of like, I need to close this deal, right? Instead, how can I serve this person? How can I help them get what they want out of this business? How can Saint help them get to X, Y, and Z? That is your job. And if you bring that serving energy to the conversation, your people are gonna feel that. And they're gonna tell that you genuinely want what's best for them. So this is what you're gonna do. So when someone gives you an actual concern, what are some common concerns? Some common concerns are probably, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't wanna be salesy, I'm afraid of what people are gonna think about me being in a direct sales company, and I don't have experience. I'm not good at makeup, or I'm not good at social media, right? I would say those are probably the most common concerns. And what's really funny, you guys, is oftentimes these concerns that people give you are usually just surface level. There's usually some deeper layers as to why, especially if it's like time or money, right? Because we can always find money and we can always find time. So whenever someone gives me a concern, instead of immediately saying, well, I also was worried about that, and here's my story, blah, blah, blah. No. Don't make this conversation about you. Never bring it back into you and do a me too, because that's instantly gonna negate their feelings and what's important to them, right? Even though it's out of the good intentions of our heart and we genuinely wanna help them, instead of saying me too, what you want to say is, tell me more about that. Tell me more about your financial situation. If you've, created that kind of a relationship where you feel comfortable asking that, or tell me more about your fears about being on social media. Let's talk about that, right? And just start having a conversation, again, preferably over a voice message or video message, even if they don't voice or video message you back, so that they can hear that genuine tone in your voice, and just help them. Get to the root cause of the concern. A lot of times when people say it's time or it's money or it's something like that, it's really that they're scared, right? They have this underlying fear of what people are gonna think about them. And if you can just simply say, tell me more about that, and show interest in what their concerns really are, 9 times out of 10, you're going to help them come up with their own resolve to their own concern. Instead of you just throwing a bunch of things at them and telling them why it's gonna be fine and they shouldn't be scared, right? That's not going to help them feel calm and confident. If you can help them find that answer within themselves, they are gonna be so much more confident to take action. Now, sometimes when you're having these conversations, it's hard to know what question to ask. And I would say my gift is a professional question asker. It's really easy for me to ask questions. And so if you're struggling to know what questions to ask, it takes practice, right? You have to get into a habit of it. But I promise you, if you approach each conversation with love, and I know this might sound kind of cheesy, but the way that I know what question to ask is I'm listening actively and I'm listening with love. And I genuinely want to know this person, and I want to know how I can help them and how I can serve them. And instead of being so worried about the right question to ask, focus more on, am I listening with love? And when you do that, a lot of times you'll just naturally be able to know what to ask. And if you don't know what to ask, go to your upline and say, hey, I'm having a conversation with Susie, send some screenshots. Can you help me know what my next step should be or what I could ask next? Or better yet, utilize third-party calls. So include your upline and say, hey, these are such great questions and concerns. I would love to connect you with my upline, Susie. She's been here for a little bit longer than I have. She's so amazing at this, and I think she could really help you answer some of these questions or concerns that you have. Is there a day or time that works best for you that we could set up a call? And then do the call on Zoom if you can. Do some sort of video interaction so that, again, you have a stronger connection to them because you've now interacted face-to-face versus just over the phone. So If you can't come to a resolve or help them with these concerns, try to get on a 3-way phone call. And if your upline isn't active, just keep reaching up until you find someone that can help you. Your job, again, is not to have all the answers. It's not to throw all these, resolutions at them. It's to help just consult and listen. Okay, so number 5, your next step. So let's say you've had a great conversation, you've been able to resolve their concerns, or if you did it right, they've probably resolved their own concerns just by you asking questions and listening. And now you set a plan of action. So either at this point, they're either gonna sign up, okay, you're gonna like, awesome, here's the game plan, here's the next steps, here's how we get you started, here's my link, right? You get them going. Or if they need to think about it, you need to set a follow-up date. So if they're like, well, let me talk to my husband, or let me, think about it overnight, or whatever it is that they need to do, you set a follow-up date. Awesome, that sounds great. Would it be okay if I checked in with you tomorrow afternoon? Yeah, awesome. Okay, awesome. And then you're gonna check in and you're gonna say, hey, Susie, just checking in like we talked about yesterday. Tell me what you're thinking. That's it. That's all it has to be. And if they still have some more reservations, try again to get them on a 3-way call. Or usually from that point, you can determine whether they're just not ready or there's someone you need to follow up with again in another couple of days, right? The fortune is in the follow-ups, not the follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-ups. So keep that follow-up system going. But if you follow these steps, you guys, it's gonna be really easy to see who's ready to sign up and who's not ready to sign up. And at that point, you stay in contact, you stay friends, keep following them on social media, but move on, find new people. Go out and find new people because the right ones will be ready if you listen to them and you help them resolve these concerns. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I plan to go live also to answer any questions that you guys have, but I promise that if you listen with love and you genuinely care about the other person and not how it's gonna serve you, that energy will completely change the way that you recruit and you will have such a better connection with the artists on your team. Okay, I love you guys. Good luck. I'll talk to you later. Bye.